हाँ
गलत है,
राइट है ब्रो। बोलता है गुस्सा नहीं करता इसलिए मार दो।
क्या
ये करता है इसलिए। मेरे को रूट कैसे निकालना है वो नहीं पता है।
मल्टीप्लाई करेगा
किससे?
तेरे को लॉन्ग डिवीजन में
अबे हट तेरे हट करना पीछे का चल जाना। चल हट तो हट के अबे एमबीपीएस प्लस करेगा नहीं तूने नहीं किया ना स्वयं
नहीं
या आगे नहीं क्या अपन करेंगे तू जल्दी करके आ जाना। हाँ 7:30 तो आऊंगा बराबर। तुम लोग क्या करोगे जल्दी करके? गाइस गौड़े आ रहे हैं। इतना जल्दी नहीं आ रहे कोई। आ रहे हैं गौड़े को बुलाया। मेरा भी एड़ा बना दे।
7 माइनस 4 कितना?
मैं तो नहीं आऊंगा। तुम लोग पैसे कितने बढ़ते हैं ना आनियो?
पता नहीं 400 रुपए उसको
500 रुपए 400 रुपए कर देगा। मतलब अभी इतने जने तो डिवाइड कर दे बहुत कम 50 सुना स्वयं आएगा ना
क्या मैं आज सर्कल का बुक का क्वेश्चन करूंगा
भाई मेरे को सिखा कर गए
तू भी वही कर रहा है
नहीं आता मुझे भी
नहीं यार मैं आज सर्कल करूंगा शीट्स नहीं करूंगा आज
मैं
ईज
जो कोऑर्डिनेटर सिखा दे
कोऑर्डिनेटर्स मत कर पवन
आने वाले कोऑर्डिनेटर
बट ज्यादा मत कर बेसिक
अस्सी में ना हो बस
मुझे थोड़ा सा
आज
इसी तरह लेना
आज डेट क्या
26 इन लोगों का 26 सितंबर को हुआ था
हां
क्या
नीरज का 3 मंथ एनिवर्सरी है फादर
क्या दे रहे हो
हैप्पी 3 मंथ एनिवर्सरी हो
वो छोड़ गिफ्ट क्या दे रहे हो
क्या मैसेज डाला है देख उसके पास फोन है ना अभी उनका
नहीं
मेरा मम्मी का देखिए ये मस्त चैटिंग वाला वाला
कितना चैट किया देख सुबह से एक सुबह का चैटिंग है सुबह से खुद से रहना है ये
तू खुद से ही करो देख पहले फिर बोल
अभी खुद से कर
मैं मैथ कर रहा है बाप रे
पूरा कॉपी कर रहा है
सर को दिखाएंगे इसको
हां सर को बोलेंगे पूरा कॉपी करके तुझे शेप किया है ना लग रहा है पूरा याद से किया
ऑब्वियसली केस लगेगा
लग रहा है ये देखिए
स्वयं शेप कर तू
अभी कर रहा हूं आज ही जा रहा है नीचे भी करने वाला
अरे
ये ज्यादा करता है नीचे
मुझे करना पड़ता है मेरा हेयर ग्रोथ देखा है तुझे नहीं फील होगा तेरा हेयर ग्रोथ नहीं हो रहा इतना अच्छा
यस
सर कोई क्या मैंने कुछ बोला नहीं क्या करना क्या
मैंने कितना सोचा है
क्या
सुनना काम के सामने पाल कर खड़ा रहना ऐसे खड़ा रहना बहुत काम दीजिए वो तो मजा आएगा बहुत सारी
एक दिन आते हैं स्कूल के साथ सारे वो गए मेरे सामने
ओ भाई
आ जाइए
गए
अच्छा
अरे हाँ उसका तो एमबीबीएस था ना शिट यार
आ जाइए भाई
मेरे भाई ठीक है स्वयं प्लेइंग गेम्स तू क्या मैं बोलता है छोटा मैन
क्या कर रहे हो
ये क्या कर रहा है स्वयं का ऐसे कैसे आ रहा है का
ये कैसे बना 50 और 1
यार करके देखना
कैसे
डिवाइड करके डंपर
पॉइंट डिविजिबल
नहीं रहेगा
होगा
कैसे
220
याद करेंगे यार
ये 2 से कर सकता है दूसरे ट्राई कर लो
ये चुप रहा है मैं कर रहा हूं ना
अरे कर ना टूटिया
ये क्या किया
फूल से हो गया 6 1 बचा पॉइंट आया 0.5
ये इतना किया क्यों
लगा रहे हो अभी तक
46.5 आंसर चेक कर दे
अरे बस
साले तू सर्कुलर एरिया पहले भी किया है ना, तो सेकंड टाइम कर रहा है ना।
इतना इजी है सरफेस एरिया
एक्चुअली मैं प्रैक्टिस से दो बचे ये मेरे रुचि है
तो सर्कल में सीधा ना है स्वयं तो
आज
सर्कल
सिखाऊंगा।
आ जा रहा है तू
नहीं मैं तो ज्यादा पास कर रही
तो
सर्कल ज्यादा है ना
हां सर्कल आएगा
हां
हाँ सर्कल्स मोस्टली आएगा एक दो क्वेश्चन आएंगे सर्कल्स के
और
6-7 मार्क्स के होंगे इसलिए वो यूज करना पड़ेगा
और ट्रायंगल
ट्रायंगल ज्यादा नहीं आएगा
ट्रायंगल भी आएगा ना 5 से
ज्यादा नहीं आएगा
सबसे ज्यादा क्या आएगा
कोऑर्डिनेट्स
वो तो मुझे भी नहीं आता
सबसे पहले
सब मिक्स होगा नहीं सर्कल एरिया हेरॉन्स जितना आएगा दो क्वेश्चन
हेरॉन भी आएगा
हाँ
सब आएगा
सब आएगा
थोड़ा
12-13
सारे चैप्टर तो आने वाले नेक्स्ट एग्जाम में तो मैंने तो कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं
तो इजी हो जाएगा।
मैं तो अभी और सरफेस एरिया आ जाएगा
नहीं मिक्स होगा
मोस्टली क्या आएगा
कोऑर्डिनेट
स्टैटिस्टिक्स
हां
अबे वो ग्राफ बनाना पड़ेगा बहुत
हाँ।
ग्राफ नहीं है
नहीं है
नहीं है
तो क्या है फिर नहीं
डायग्राम्स
हाँ
डायग्राम्स है बस
शायद से नहीं हिस्टोग्राम है एक ही है histogram।
क्या बचा है इसको
इंस्टाग्राम इजी हो
मुझे ठीक नहीं पता आर्या को आता है स्टैटिस्टिक्स अच्छे से आर्या को पता है क्या होता है स्टैटिस्टिक्स
उस दिन एमबीबीएस में ना आरुष के बारे में बैठ कर वो आरुष टीचर ना सरफेस एरिया कर रहा है इसको वो स्टैटिस्टिक्स समझा आता नहीं है जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स के भाग गया वो भी सारा रहा
ये रे फुल लीडर मिला बाय स्क्वायर स्क्वायर क्यों लिखा है इधर
आर स्क्वायर होता है ना
वो एक स्क्वायर करता है नहीं आज स्क्वायर पर बराबर है
आर स्क्वायर स्क्वायर
कहां निकाला आर स्क्वायर में तू
गॉड नोस ब्रो
कट ओवर डाउन
लेट्स गो
ये क्या गेस
मेरे को
ऐसा मत बोल भाई
ये अर्थ और मून वाला समय ना मैंने भी किया है।
नहीं ऐसा वो मार नहीं है वाला क्या लगे
मेरे को क्या कॉपी करने से मतलब है भाई
क्या है
अच्छा है
ये क्या लिखा है बीसी
ये क्या
ये क्या लिखा है अरे वो छोड़िए क्या लिखा है
वॉल्यूम ऑफ कोड
ये है बेबी
नहीं चुप रे मेरे को कॉपी कर दे
नहीं
ओ भाई नीचे चला रहे हैं लोग को
क्या
हां नीचे से
पैरेलल वाले पैरेलल जो गए इधर भी नीचे से ला रहे हैं
नीचे से
वो पता है कौन से स्कूल में
कॉलेज दिखा
कौन से स्कूल में पता है वो जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल है ना उधर से वाले लोग
भाई
गवर्नमेंट
लेट्स गो बताएगा
मेरे को इतना क्यों श्योर है
दुश्मन लोग क्या
प्यूटी भाई लोग यूनिट से बैन किया प्यूटी से बैन क्या होता है
सॉरी
ये ब्लॉक किया भाई क्यों
ये इधर 48 पायर क्यों लिखा है तूने
अबे क्वेश्चन देखना साले मेरे को क्या वाली दे रहा है
वही ना
भाई ना
हां
भाई
क्या भाई साले वगैरह
हम लोग तो भाई रहने घंटे बस 2 घंटे में
मुझे कितना पैसा लिया है
5000 बहुत कम नहीं है
हम लोग से तो पैसे नहीं है वैसे ही गए थे
पेमेंट नहीं है वो बैंगलोर इतना दूर है क्या अबे वो इसके ना वो अलग से बस का भी उन्होंने ये पैसे दिए हमारा बस का नहीं है अबे तो इनसे 5,000 लिए उन्होंने आधा स्कूल में भरा है टोटल मिला के 5,000 25 स्कूल ने भरा 25 लोग ने डिवाइड करके भरा है समझ ला उतरिया
7
ये मेरे को शांति से कॉपी करने दे मार
तू गलत कर रहा है पूरा
फर्क नहीं
अबे वो करेक्ट तो मुझे ना काफी ना दे रहे
तो और डिवाइड कर सकते हैं
ये चुप रे
ये फोन से आएगा
अबे मैम बोलती 10 मिनट 5 मिनट नहीं 10 मिनट होगी बच्चे उसमें नहीं है ना नहीं जाना प्लीज ना
चल
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 पप्पी टुडे एट 6:30
क्या किसको पप्पी देना
पप्पी में काफी
मिस्टर देखा मैं आपने देखा आदमी जाके बैठो वो मिस्टर तो सामने देखा उन्होंने 15 क्यों लिख दिया सच्ची?
Actually.
नहीं
It was for
5 minutes.
then. When are you coming back?
No, I'm late. I'm late. कब से wait कर रहे थे?
You are waiting.
हाँ?
कब आए तुम लोग अभी आए?
नहीं हम लोग कब से 10 मिनट से यहाँ एक क्लास में थे।
अच्छा।
मजाक भी नहीं 15 मिनट।
Now, continue. We talk about what? We were talking about water. Now, so availability of water. Now we look into water pollution. What are some of the reasons? Water pollution. Now, for air pollution, we have been talking about that automobiles are a major reason, factories, industries, major reason, pesticides, fungicides, major reason, burning, so all these. Now, for water pollution, if you have to write, what are some of the common reasons? Can you tell me 5 reasons of water pollution?
Waste of
industrial water
plastic.
Number 1, what is it?
Waste of factories.
Industrial effluents.
Yes.
Release of industrial effluents
Plastics.
into the water bodies. Number 2,
Beaches.
okay, throwing of plastics or garbage into the water
Water
bodies.
bodies.
Number 3,
like our poop and all that goes in water, right?
release of the waste substances. The release of the waste substances into the water bodies. Number 4, release of or oil spills or release of
Oil
oil
spills in
into
ocean.
the water bodies. So that will be applicable only for big water bodies, not for small. Then, when we are talking about water pollution, how is human life affected majorly? Can you give me 2 effects of human life? Effects of water pollution on human. Number 1. How? What are the most common reasons? What are the most common effects that human may
If we
suffer
don't
from?
drink proper water, we get affected by disease like typhoid.
Number 1. So that is it. So we are saying that consumption of polluted water may result in various different type of waterborne diseases. And what are some of the common waterborne diseases we have studied?
Typhoid.
Cholera, typhoid, dysentery, etc. Those are the common. What else? Number 2. If there is water pollution, what else may happen? If there is water pollution, this is one. Diseases may happen. What else?
Humans के लिए बोल रहे हैं।
Majorly animals and
For
humans.
animals के लिए फिर
Ah.
it's hard to survive in pollution for animals.
If there is pollution, okay, this is one that we talk about the big animals, humans, isn't it? But what about in the water bodies? Only the animals which are there in the water bodies, what will happen to them if the water is constantly getting polluted?
The
Water bodies, the animals in the water bodies, organisms, aquatic organisms starts dying out and they become extinct. So constantly the water getting polluted, will the water organisms survive there happily? Of course not. So much of death and extinction of the water or aquatic organisms. Look here, what are some of the major reasons for water pollution? We already talked about industrial waste, fertilizers, pesticides, solid particles. We were talking about various different. Now, did we also discuss that rainwater or acid rain? Now, the rainwater that is falling on the surface of the soil and it's also falling on the water bodies, no? So, if it is acid rain, is it only going to harm the plants and the organisms on the land? No, it is going to harm the organisms on the water also. So, if it is acid rain, polluted water, then it is going to harm the water organisms also.
Yes.
Look at this question. How can temperature be a reason? Now, this is a very important question. Temperature of the water in river can be affected when, number 1, hot water is released from India. What is this question asking you? It is a water body. It is a water body. And in this water body, how can 2 things affect the organisms in the water? Number 1, hot water entering into the body. Now, how will the hot water enter into the body? Either from an industry factory or from the water vessels. The big ship and the cruise, etc., the water vessels, these are called the water vessels. So now from these big water vessels, if at all the hot water enters into the water body or from the industry factory entering into the water body, what will happen? what will happen? Can you tell me?
Hot water is liquid something.
Now I am talking about a water body. Say suppose ये हो गया a big water body. Now in this big water body at one end, hot water is entering. Now hot water we can give some examples of the hot water spills from an industry factory. So now the temperature of this area of the water is much higher. So ये जो regular water body था, maybe उसका temperature was something around 24 degrees. Suddenly, because of the hot water entering from the industry factory or leakage from water vessels, ships, etc., a local region of the water body temperature got increased to something around 50 degrees centigrade. But in this depth also there are a whole lot of organisms surviving. Will they get affected?
Yeah.
Very much, no? So now these industries are releasing their hot water, waste water into the water bodies. Now this may happen for maybe 1-2 दिन से चल रहा है. This is happening for a couple of days, maybe 24 hours, 48 hours. So in this 24 hours, suddenly the temperature of the water body of one particular region increasing. So whatever organisms are there in this zone starts dying out. Starts dying out. What is the other thing possible? The other thing possible is, I am talking about another region of the water body. It is also possible that the cold damp water enters suddenly. The cold damp water is entering suddenly. Cold damp water enters suddenly. Damp water is always known to be colder than the regular water body, no? But the cold damp water enters. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Regular water body का temperature था 24. At this region now the temperature is falling, and now it is almost about 4 degrees centigrade, almost frozen water. But the water organisms of this sea, they are not used to that 4 degrees temperature. They are not used to. So are they going to get affected?
Yeah.
Yes, they will also get affected. How? The process of laying eggs and breeding and survival and movement, everything else. And these organisms are dying out. So did you ever come across that because of oil spills or because of this, near the sea and the ocean, there are huge number of fishes and birds lying dead? Yes. Yes. Quite a number of times we have seen, no? So yes, both these conditions are very much suitable, where in a water body, suddenly if the temperature increases or decreases, both may be responsible for the death of variety of organisms. Notebook में लिख के रखो. These questions are important. Now this is page number. When you read your 128, so when you read this chapter, take a note of all these questions. Natural resource, just take some important pages you remember. None of you have the book with you. Now next is we talk about mineral resources. Who is that fortunate person?
Drum over.
Hey, book. है वो कि दूसरा होगा ये
वॉल्यूम 1 मैम क्योंकि लेक्चर में लिखा था डाइवर्सिटी
अगर लिखा भी है
मैम सेम थिंग हैपेंड विद मी मैम.
अब अगर तुम्हारे उसमें बाय चांस मिस्टेक आ जाता है, कोल एंड मिनरल रिसोर्सेज पढ़ाया जाएगा बायोलॉजी क्लास में. आइए होगे
आज हम लोग बुक लिखना
कौन सा
कोल एंड मिनरल.
अभी लेसन ही नहीं है कोल एंड मिनरल. मैं भी लेके आया.
मैं गाइड एस्टर लेके आऊंगा.
एटलीस्ट नीरज इज टॉकिंग स्मार्ट. तो जब डाइवर्सिटी लिखा है, दैट हैज जस्ट डिफॉल्ट से आ गया है वो चैप्टर, बिकॉज वही सीक्वेंस में हम पढ़ाते हैं. बट यू नो दैट ये चैप्टर तो है ही नहीं, कैसे होगा?
मैम मेरी और स्वयं की सच्ची में नीरज लेके
झूठ बोल रहे हैं. मैं लेसन नहीं बोल रहा.
मैं मेरी जो बुक है, मैं मेरी बुक कुत्ते ने खाई थी.
जो हमें कुत्ते ने खा लिया.
मेरे पास पेट है.
Nice that. Now the dog is also going to be smarter than you.
क्यों?
बुक कर ली.
जो खाते हैं लोग ये बुक.
Never.
Now we look नहीं खाते.
चैंपियन मैम. नीरज लैब्राडोर और चैंपियन.
हाँ नहीं खाते.
Okay. No stupid discussions in my class. Now, when we are talking about mineral resources, now let us talk about minerals. Where do we find minerals?
I mean water.
Fresh water.
In rocks.
Basically, in the rocks in the soil.
Rocks.
Mineral riches, mineral riches are mainly in the soil and the rocks, है ना? So rocks and soil are the main sources. They are the you can say they are the storehouses of minerals. Huge amount of minerals we get to see there. Now, are minerals natural resources?
Yes, ma'am.
How? Why?
Because
they are
it is
naturally
natural.
formed.
They are naturally found and they are always for the benefit of human. So many different type of uses of minerals. Now let us talk about with reference the soil. The soil is the reserve of minerals. Now here, as we had already talked about कि rain कैसे होता है, clouds कैसे बनते हैं. Now similarly we are going to talk about soil कैसे बनता है. How do soil get formed? So what is that process called? उसका भी एक process का नाम है. What is that process called? What is that process called? Now, if I have to draw the soil profile, do you remember how do you draw the soil profile? याद है ना? Earlier standards में पढ़ा है ना? So नाम क्या बताऊं? वो layers के नाम होते हैं. What are the names?
Upper crust, lower crust,
Upper crust, lower crust, ground.
parent
rock.
Parent rock, हाँ. Parent rock क्या है? Parent rock, child rock.
subsoil, topsoil वाला ना.
Very good. Now we are talking about. We make a layer now here. Try to understand. हाँ? क्या हो गया?
Neighbor soil बोलता है.
जैसे get family.
Family है, हाँ family है. फिर
Neighbors भी होंगे.
तो neighbor soil.
Soil rock.
कुछ भी कह लो.
Neighbor rock. एक rock बोल.
Now, so what is the layer
Bedrock.
with big rocks and boulders known as? This is
Bedrock,
known
ma'am.
as what? This is known as the bedrock. Why is it known as a bedrock?
Because it has big.
Huge big rocks and boulders. This is. Then uske
Parent.
just before that we come across which is partially broken.
Parent rock.
Which will be partially broken, says just differentiate. Which is partially broken. Now what do we call this?
Parent rock.
Parent rock. Now after this we come across, now these rocks and boulders are even more crushed. They are even more crushed. Now if I talk about that, there is a particular layer which has got even more mixed rocks, boulders, pebbles and little bit of sand, little bit of silt. Now this is what we are going to talk about as subsoil first. Then comes a particular layer which is more or less mixed, more or less even. This is more or less even, and we talk about this as topsoil.
Top
And what would be this?
Upper crust.
Humus.
Humus.
Neeraj is becoming smart.
ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कुछ family है, parent भी है, parent भी है, खाना भी बन रहा है.
बोल और बोल दिया में करके. Now, so what are the names that we try understanding? Humus. And then we talk about topsoil and then subsoil.
Parent rock.
Five basic layers yaad rakhna hai. What I said, first is humus and then topsoil and subsoil. तुम लोग उसके जोक में हंसते हुए तो कोशिश कर दीजिए अपने नहीं आएगा. Now humus, topsoil, subsoil, parent rock and bedrock. तो ये हो गए 5 layers. Now we will understand process क्या है. Process किसको याद है process का नाम?
में भी layers होते हैं ना.
Process का नाम क्या है? Weathering. Weathering. So now ये जो weathering है 3 types or 3 phases में होता है. One is
एक बार गर्मी से दूर कूल से ये होता है.
तुम दोनों एक ही फैमिली में जन्मे हो.
मैं बहुत family tops हो गया है.
When we are talking about weathering, what are the 3 different processes? Let us talk. The 3 processes. एक first process को बोलेंगे physical weathering. This is mechanical. We'll learn what it is. Then next is we talk about chemical weathering. And then we talk about biological. Biological और chemical.
मैं biological बोलने ही वाला था. पता नहीं मेरे दिमाग में आया.
एक हम ऐसा बोलना.
नहीं
Now,
सही
when we are
Physical का
talking
chemical
about
ऐसे दिमाग में आया.
मैं मजाक नहीं कर पाया, मैं अभी तक बोलने वाला था, मुझे पता नहीं था। सही में मजाक नहीं।
दिमाग कहाँ पे है?
पता नहीं, मैंने सिर्फ मेरे को
पता नहीं, मुझे भी नहीं पता लग रहा है कि तुम्हारा दिमाग है कहाँ। Now when we are talking about withering, yes. Now what is withering? Let us write down the definition. What is withering? What is withering? लिखो. Let us write
क्या
down.
कर रहा है?
वैसे साइंस के लेक्चर में सर्कल्स कर रहे हैं।
मैं मैथ्स कर रहा हूँ।
Maths क्यों कर रहे हो अभी?
वो आर्य का
आर्या का मतलब?
मजाक कर रहे हैं।
What is weathering?
मजाक कर रहा है, एयर पॉल्यूशन।
आर्या का मैथ्स कर रहा मतलब?
मैंने भी न्यू टाइप का मैथ्स
का
करा।
MBBS
चमाट डूबा ना।
क्या?
MBBS
What MAPS? Now is it MAPS time?
मजाक कर रहा है मैं तो। अरे झूठ बोल रहा है।
नाम क्या है?
अरे है नहीं, झूठ क्यों बोल रहा है?
What is weathering?
Then there are three types of weathering: physical, chemical, and biological.
मतलब उसके अंदर भी बहुत सारे हैं। लेकर जाते हैं।
What is weather?
You get up from there. Come here in the first bench. Come here in the first bench. And Arya, you will get out of the class for 5 minutes. Get out. Neeraj, just rasta me.
मैंने क्या किया?
You will get out.
But मैंने कुछ किया ही नहीं है मैम।
Because you are irritating now.
मैंने क्या किया?
You are laughing like an idiot. I'm not able to follow you.
मैम को हंसा। नीरज भी हंस रहा
You
है।
are behaving so idiotic.
मैं वहाँ पे बैठूँ।
Right there, not in front of me. There.
Beside.
Go have some fresh air. And रेखा मैम को जाके बोलो एसपीडी मैम ने मुझे क्लास से बाहर निकाला, मेरे साथ मैं इडियट की तरह बिहेव कर रहा था।
मैम ये भी कर रहा है।
नो, नीरज जब जो इडियट की तरह बिहेव करेगा उसको तो मैं 5 मिनट हवा खिलाती ही हूँ। That is for sure. Before I waste my time, because I plan to complete a lot of the easy chapter and we should finish it up. बहुत important है। Get out. Get out. मैं बहुत अच्छी तरह से बोल रही हूँ। Arya, go out. I already warned you in the beginning of the lecture that your behavior is really getting into the nerves now. You talk stupid, you behave idiot, but still you are giggling away, no shame. A 9th standard student and few months going to 10. Shame for the family. Yeah. Pity your parents. I feel sad for them. What a birth. Get out. Get out. I'm sending you out. You will go and report this to Rekha ma'am that ma'am threw me out of the class because I was behaving very, very stupid. I said go out, meaning you have to go out. I tolerated it for so long. I generally don't tolerate such stupid behavior. Will you go out or not? You will go out and then you jump, scream, laugh. चाहिए तो तेरा दोस्त को भी ले ले. Get out. I'm opening the door. Which I don't do for any student. Get out. Get out. Get up. Get up and get out. And this you will remember for any more lecture that you have to attend. मेरे क्लास में अगर बैठना है, you will behave. Pranks I do a lot with my students, but not this rubbish prank मैं कभी नहीं करती मेरे students के साथ. You ask every batch, every student, they love me like anything because मैं बहुत prank करती हूँ class में, but not at this level. This is something that I'm feeling it dirty. Get out! You get up and get out now. Neeraj इसको पकड़. Now I'm not going to leave you. Now I'm not going to leave you. You will get out of the class now. Get up. Will you get up? Get up. Get his back. Mom is not attending on my lecture. Get up. Ajay. You are irritating me. Now you will get out of the class. I told you 5 minutes to go out. Freshen up yourself. Put it here. I have to attend the lecture nicely in a well-behaved manner. Agar nahi, don't be in the lecture. You prepare. I give you 10 minutes to prepare. I'll give you all the time. Better. Now, what are we talking about? We are talking about the 5 basic layers. Now, first is we talk about what is withering. I told you, withering एक जो process है, उसको कैसे define करोगे? And coming along, there are more number of terms. We'll talk about these terms one after the other. Let me explain what is withering first. You will write the definition in 3-4 sentences. What is withering? First of all, we talk about a huge number of big rocks hai, boulders hai. Now these rocks, boulders, I talk about the first part, physical weathering. Physical weathering में क्या हो रहा है? The heat of the sun. The sun and for all of you, remember when you are joking with your parents, with your elders, with your teachers. Today, we teachers, since we don't belong to that age group. We are all young. We are very, very friendly with all our students. I don't have any problem in prank. All of my students, we are pranking and studying also at the same time. But you very well know, you all, where do you stand? You all very well know where do you stand. But still I'm making it light. Because तुम्हारे पे अगर pressure डालेंगे तो this will get blocked for all of you. But in that process, you should remember that we are learning. You tend to forget your limits and you end into your own level. Never do that with your teachers ever in school or here or your parents. I really have a question for all of you. Very surprised with all your behaviors. मतलब इस तरह के behaviors and your elders and parents and teachers have never, I think they also must have got fed up treating and correcting you. So keep this as a lesson. Otherwise, I will not stop myself. I will never think you will have to get the fresh air outside the classroom. Acha. Now, what I said, what is weathering? Let us learn. Physical weathering क्या है? Physical weathering किसको बोलेंगे? Physical weathering means, you will listen. Physical weathering means we are talking about the heat of the sun is responsible for heating up the rocks. Heating up the rocks. But with this concept, what did we learn? Heating during the daytime, cooling at night. Heating during the daytime, cooling at night. So now if I talk about some very hot areas, even in Mumbai, the summertime, the summer months, 4 or 5 months of summer, so hot during the day. But the nights are again cool. What may happen if there's a sudden change in the temperature?
Viral diseases happens.
I talk about, say suppose now even in my kitchen or talk about your own laboratory in the school, physics, chemistry, biology, some laboratories. Now what will happen? I heat up and then suddenly I cool. I heat up and then suddenly I cool. What will happen to that plate or a container, etc.? So what will happen? Say suppose I take a glass, I put some hot water straight away. What will happen to that glass?
Will produce some irritate substances.
Acha, I take that glass of hot water and directly I put in my oven and try heating it for another 15 minutes. What will happen to that glass? It will break.
Because of a very high amount of heat.
Because of the difference in the temperature, sometimes very high, sometimes very low, sometimes very high, sometimes very low. It will break. So that is what is happening during physical weathering. As I said again, during the daytime.
Can you give an example of cold and cool?
Cold and?
Cold.
हाँ तो वही
cold में कैसे break होता है?
Cold में break नहीं होता.
Cold में
Heat में break हो रहा है.
Cold में जम जाएगा.
I said I take a glass. I said I take a glass. अब उस glass में if I add little bit of some warm water and then I add hot boiling water, the glass will never break. क्यों? क्योंकि पहले मैंने warm water डाल के उस glass को adjust कराया and then I put some hot water so that glass will never break. But I take a glass, suddenly put some hot boiling water in it, immediately it will break. Yes, right at home. And then when I take some hot water in a glass and directly if I put it in the deep fridge also it will break. Because hot say direct cold, cold say direct hot. Breakage happens not only for glasses but for big rocks and boulders also.
अगर हम लोग एकदम गर्म पानी माइक्रोवेव में रखेंगे तो ग्लास में सीखेंगे.
एकदम गर्म पानी. You will come after some later. Let me explain then this process because you will come, you will disturb. When I talk about this, when I said microwave में, if you take a glass of hot water, you take that hot water, you boiled it, and you immediately take and put it in the deep fridge, it will break. उसको तुमने निकाल के अगर रूम टेम्परेचर में रख दिया, वो कभी ब्रेक नहीं होगा, वो धीरे धीरे कूल डाउन हो रहा है. बट उसको तुमने माइक्रोवेव से निकाल के सीधा तुमने डीप फ्रिज में वापस रख दिया. डीप फ्रिज का टेम्परेचर कितना रहता है? समथिंग अराउंड 2 to 4 degrees. So उसमें उस टेम्परेचर में तुमने रख दिया, immediately there's a transition in temperature, it will start cracking. So now if I talk about physical weathering में क्या हो रहा है? I'm talking about the rocks and the big boulders of the earth. Every day it's getting heated up, night में cooling, heated up, night में cooling, heated up, night में cooling. This is what is responsible for bringing about cracks in the rocks. इसकी वजह से cracks हो जाता है on the surface of the body of the big rocks, cracks हो रहा है. अच्छा, now the summers are gone. Summer के बाद क्या होता है? Monsoon. In most of the places of the earth, summer is always followed by monsoon. Now that monsoon is happening, ये जो cracks बने थे on the rocks, water starts getting in. Monsoon, constant rainfall, and the water starts getting in. Now monsoon is followed by winters. The water which has gone inside the deeper layers of the rocks, big rocks I'm talking about, the water that got inside, अब इस water का क्या होना है during the, it will get converted into ice. अब जब it gets converted, now because temperature is so low now, it gets converted into ice. अब जब it got converted into ice, will the crack remain the same size? It will expand. क्यों?
One, because it is getting
ice
spaces.
expands on cooling. So water expands on cooling. We know that. So water जैसे जैसे ice बनता जाएगा, it will start expanding. वो crack थोड़ा थोड़ा बड़ा होता जाएगा. तो next season में फिर से summer, फिर से rainfall, फिर से winter. तो ये जो अभी cycle में हो रहा है, अब 4-5 season अगर ये चलेगा, ये cracks बड़ा हो रहा है, and after 2-3 season of the same cycle में जैसे चलेगा, the big rock has broken into 3-4 pieces like this. तो इसी तरह से now am I talking about a process? क्या ये process अभी 1 साल या 2 साल या 3 season में बनेगा? No, it will take so many seasons. तो ये बड़े-बड़े rocks जो है, boulders जो है, ये धीरे-धीरे break हो रहा है. Break होके now which layer I am talking about? The parent rock, छोटे-छोटे rocks, boulders का mixture जो बन रहा है, उसको बोलेंगे parent rock. अच्छा, तो ये तो हो गया physical weathering. अब इससे छोटा और कैसे बनेगा? Physical weathering तो continuous है ही. ये छोटे-छोटे rocks को भी और that we can divide it into smaller bits. But ये physical weathering से ये subsoil topsoil बनता है क्या? Not exactly. अब physical weathering के बाद कौन सा? Chemical weathering. What is chemical weathering? अब जब raindrops are falling on the water, on these rocks, the raindrops has various different type of minerals. Minerals are combining with the water, resulting in the formation of certain different type of acids. And बहुत सारे chemical reactions हो रहे हैं. This is called chemical weathering. बहुत सारे chemical reactions हो रहे हैं. And now the surface of the rock is constantly getting eroded हो जा रहा है. Chemical reaction होते because the rock is a rich reserve of minerals. Chemical reaction हो रहा है. The rock surface is constantly undergoing new combinations, new compounds form हो रहा है, and the rock surface erode हो रहा है. And what is the third step also that we should understand? Various different type of biological agents. अब biological agents कौन से? Biological agents, something like if I talk about during the monsoon time, did you ever come across on the surface of the rocks some mosses?
What?
Monsoon में surface of the rocks में कभी mosses देखा है? Moss, do you know what is a moss?
Moss is so
greenish mosses. Now all this algae is in the water. Algae is not ever on the rocks. Fungus is different. Mosses are a type of a small plant. So during this monsoon time, now that ये 3-4 months of monsoon जब जाता है, in this 3-4 months of monsoon, what do we get to see? A survey on the footpaths, on the rock surfaces, on the tree trunks, mosses बन जाता है. Green layer of moss बन जाता है. तो ये mosses जो बनता है, this mosses, the roots, these are actually small plants. If you check, एक कारपेट जैसे ग्रोथ हो जाता है, and they start releasing certain chemical substances, and ये chemical substances surface of the rock को erode कर देता है, हाँ erode करके that gets broken down into small और छोटे छोटे pieces होने लगते हैं, ये जो बड़ा सा rock है that gets converted into even more smaller pieces. और कुछ additional है, there are, when I have to talk about like this rocks, there are certain type of fungi and algae that start growing on the surface of the rock, and इसको बोलते हैं lichens, इसको बोलते हैं lichens. So on the surface of the rock, lichens,
यू लग रहे हो,
no, N, Lichens, वो यू नहीं लग रहा है, वो N है. So now that we are talking about that, ये जो on the surface of the rock, think about a particular rock है, एक particular boulder है, rocks है, and in this process fungi starts growing. What are fungi? A type of an organism, like the mushrooms and etc. What are algae? Another type of an organism जो basically water body में होता है, but ये monsoon में when the rock surfaces are wet, it will start growing. तो ये the algae and fungi, they are always together. Algae and fungi
is always together.
A particular type of algae and fungi I am talking about. Not all algae and fungi are together.
So water fungi is there?
Not water fungi. There are specific type of fungi which are always growing on the moist surfaces. जैसे तो fungi majorly grows on the moist surface. And जब the rocks are wet, a specific type of algae starts growing. Or not, protozoa not on the rocks. Protozoa will be there in the soil also. Protozoa will be there in the body of organisms. But I am talking about the specific algae and the fungi together, and now these are known as lichens. So now that these type of new organisms start growing, so many chemical reactions are happening on the surface of the rock. So इससे क्या हो रहा है? New chemical substances are developing, and surface of the rock और छोटे components में break हो जा रहा है. तो कौन-कौन से मेथड से big rocks are getting converted into smaller? Basic तो physical method से big boulders rocks बनते हैं, and chemical and biological method से now he wants to come. क्यों आना है तुमको आना क्यों है? पढ़ना तो है नहीं, stupid behavior करना है तो आना, बाहर एंजॉय करो, 8:30 बजे घर चले जाना. कितने बजे खत्म हो रहा है? 6:30 बजे घर चले जाना. So stupid, you are laughing. You will go and sit at that last corner. Now, henceforth in any of these lectures, I should not be telling you this. Huh? Straight, अलग-अलग बैठोगे because.
Can you recap physical?
I'll. So now, when we are talking about this, so this is what we are talking about as biological. Biological, what I said. Because of biological, the surface of the rock erodes. Physical के लिए क्या होता है? The big ones break.
And how they break?
And you do not listen.
I have to.
I will give you. And then I will give you some questions you will write as homework. And chemical, what did I tell you? Chemical? Certain chemical components which are present on the water.
Mosses.
No, you do not understand. Mosses, so I told you biological. So when I talk about mosses are not biological agents, it's not so. Algae is a biological agent. Fungi is a biological agent. What I was explaining? Not a concentration work with that. So biological agents are constantly eroding the surface of the rock and converting them into powder form. Chemical क्या कर रहा है? Chemical मतलब sulfur dioxide, etc. जो rain में होता है. So that is bringing the breakdown. Physical मतलब which factors? Sun, water.
Sun से क्रैक होता है, then पानी आता है.
Let us write down one question. What is withering? Take one question. You will write this as homework. Define withering or what is withering? What is withering? Withering the definition मैं देती हूँ, and after that this you will try to write in your own words. What is withering? लिखो. Answer. What is withering? The process of breaking down process of breaking down big rocks gradually, process of breaking down big rocks gradually by physical, chemical and biological agents. By physical, chemical and biological agents. And biological agents to form soil, is known as weathering. To form soil is known as weathering. Now, next question, you will take this as homework. Explain how physical agents bring about weathering. Explain how physical agents bring about weathering. Number 2. Okay, these answers should not be more than 3 to 4 sentences. Next question number 2. What is the role of wind? What is the role of wind in the process of weathering? What is the role of wind? Now we have been talking about physical agents like sun and water. Remember wind also. Now when there is a storm, wind kya karta hai? It can carry the big boulders from one region to another and hit here there. And in the process of hitting and thrashing, the rock breaks. What is the role of the wind in the process of weathering? And number 3, mention 2 biological agents. Mention 2 biological agents that are responsible for the formation of soil. Mention 2 biological agents responsible for the formation of soil. Full stop. Next part of the same question. Explain the process in short. Explain the process. Basic 3-4 lines में लिखोगे. How biological agents help in eroding. Sit properly. That's not the way to sit in a classroom. Do you sit this way in the school? ऐसे habit हो गया है ना?
लंबा है ना वो.
Teachers also must have. I have seen tallest boys in the classroom behaving so well. Don't talk about nonsense. The teachers also must have been fed up correcting you, no?
So teachers को पहचानते ही नहीं आते हैं स्कूल.
स्कूल ही
नहीं आता.
स्कूल ही नहीं आता.
मैं सामने इतना अच्छा पढ़ा तो आएगा क्यों?
हाँ.
Don't giggle for everything. Talk smart. Don't giggle for everything. For your teeth. All of you the same. Now, will you be able to write this 2-3 questions that I gave you? Chemical agents. No, I'm sorry. I gave you biological agents. Biological agents के नाम लिखना है. You may take it. It is there in your volume also. You may take the names in case you get confused. You have to use these names in your answer. Lichens, algae, fungi, all these names should be there in your answer. So that is about weathering that we have to talk about. The last concept that we look into, what is this? Humus. What is humus? It is the topmost and the most fertile layer of the soil. The most fertile layer कैसे बनता है? By सारे soil में humus होता है, हर तरह के soil में humus होता है? नहीं. If I talk about sandy soil, उसमें humus होता है? Or how do we understand humus is there in the soil?
By the texture of the soil.
By not the texture. जो भी soil में एक blackish layer आता है, that is the most fertile layer, fertile type of the soil. If I talk about the red soil, is it the most fertile soil? No. काफी तरह soil can be of so many types. There is loamy soil, there is alluvial soil,
Clay
there is
soil.
loamy. Geography में पढ़ा है कि नहीं पढ़ा?
Clay soil.
Clay soil, sandy soil. So sandy soil is fertile?
No.
नहीं. Loamy soil is fertile? Yes.
Ma'am,
Alluvial soil, black soil is the most fertile. So when we talk about the black soil, clay soil, loamy soil, fertile है, but not that much as in comparison with the black soil. क्यों? Because black soil में humus सबसे ज़्यादा होता है. Black soil में microorganism सबसे ज़्यादा होता है. And how is humus formed? Plant parts falling on it, animal dying, animal parts, small birds dying out, rodents, rats, all these organisms when they die out, bacterial decomposition हो रहा है. And as a result of bacterial decomposition, what's happening? That black layer is getting formed. Now, say suppose I talk about on the land now, certain parts of the plant fall, leaves and fruits, etc. fall down, or a chota sa bird dying out and lying there. After a month, will you be able to see those plant parts? No, you will get to see a black patch over there. क्या हुआ? एक महीने में process of decomposition हुआ है, and now that part of the land became more fertile, most fertile. So what is humus? What is the definition that you are supposed to write? The most fertile layer of the soil. How is it formed? By the decomposition of the plants and the animal matter. Do we find humus in every type of soil? No. Red soil में humus नहीं होता है, sandy soil में humus नहीं होता है, black soil, clay soil में नहीं होता है, black में, loamy में, alluvial में humus होता है, पर black soil में सबसे ज़्यादा.
ना black soil मतलब पूरा black होता है या थोड़ा सा?
The soil, if you cut the soil in layers, most of the layers of the soil is black or brown.
Ma'am, least fertile कौन सा होता है?
Least is sandy. Sandy soil, silt, sandy soil is it. That's the reason we don't get enough vegetation there. Vegetation नहीं होता. Now, अगर humus है, if humus is there in the soil, what are some of the benefits that the soil will have? Number one,
the growth of the plant.
vegetation तो है ही. Why vegetation? Because this humus होने के साथ-साथ the entire soil becomes porous. क्योंकि अब जब decomposition हुआ है, microbial growth हुआ है, that has made the soil porous. हम जब केक बनाते हैं, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिलीज होने के साथ साथ वो pores बन जाता है. Exactly similar type of thing happens in the humus. अगर bacterial decomposition हुआ है, the entire layer becomes porous. अब जब porous हुआ है, now if the next season of rainfall, ये वाले soil में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा water नीचे जाएगा, water holding capacity बढ़ जाता है. Atmospheric air के oxygen भी अंदर जाएगा, nitrogen भी अंदर जाएगा. So that is making the soil even more fertile. What is the benefit of humus? Number one, the soil becomes more aerated. Atmospheric air अंदर जाता है. Soil becoming porous and increases the water holding capacity. This is what you are supposed to write down. Take the next question. What is the benefit of, or what is humus? पहले ये लिखो. What is humus? What is humus? What is humus? Question mark. Next part of the same question. What is the benefit? Benefit of presence of humus.
Second part.
Benefit of presence of humus. Presence of benefit of humus. What is the benefit of humus? Answer लिखो फटाफट. The uppermost fertile layer of the soil. Uppermost fertile layer of the soil is called humus.
Fertile soil.
Uppermost fertile layer of the soil is called humus. Is called humus. Full stop. It is formed by the decomposition of. It is formed by the decomposition of plant and animal matter. Formed by the decomposition. Formed by the decomposition of plant and animal matter. Full stop. Now advantage मैंने पूछा है, लिखते हैं दो advantage. Next paragraph. Humus makes the soil. Humus makes the soil porous. Number one, first point. Humus makes the soil porous and helps in diffusion of gases. Number two, increases the water holding capacity. Increases the water holding capacity. Okay. Now, erosion का क्या मतलब है? What is erosion?
Breaking the rocks.
Erosion मतलब if I talk about the erosion of a rock, erosion of a building, what do you understand? वो upper layer, upper crust wash off हो जाए.
टूट रहा है सब कुछ.
हाँ, टूट
इसका भी हो
रहा
सकता
है,
है.
खराब हो रहा है, wash off हो रहा है, उसको बोलेंगे erosion. Soil erosion कैसे होगा? Now I understand that कोई एक particular land है जिसमें humus बहुत सारा है, so obviously that is a fertile land. तो वो erosion मतलब वो धुल के जा रहा है, that is getting washed off. Washed off हो जा रहा है, तो humus अगर पूरा पूरा wash off हो जाएगा, is it possible that that land which at one time was fertile ये barren है अभी? हो सकता है? हाँ, हो सकता है, because this fertile land जिसमें एक particular एक 5 साल पहले enough humus था, but regularly that soil is getting washed off. Heavy rainfall है, floods है, wash off हो जा रहा है. अब 5-7 साल के बाद पता चला ये जो land 5 साल पहले जो इतना productive था, अभी almost barren है, कुछ vegetation दे ही नहीं सकता. ऐसा होता है, very much. That happens. That is what is known as soil erosion. तो soil erosion मतलब washing away the top layer, the topmost fertile layer of the soil and increasing or decreasing fertility. Decreasing the fertility. Fertility regularly decrease हो रहा है.
Because of the flood or rain.
Because of the flood or rain. Now say suppose I have a plot of land जो बहुत productive है, humus है, और मैं जब irrigation करती हूँ बहुत ज़्यादा wash off हो जाता है. Irrigation excessive हो रहा है. तो हर बार irrigation excessive होते क्या हो जाएगा? The upper layer is getting washed off. Upper layer is getting washed off.
Because of the water.
हाँ, तो ये upper layer जो washed off हो जा रहा है, तो upper layer washed off होते ये surface पूरा ये पूरा fertile layer पूरा चला गया. ये fertile layer पूरा चला गया. So now this layer is becoming barren. Methods.
Barren.
This entire land जो था, जो एक particular time पे productive था, it is becoming barren. What is meaning of barren? अब ये कुछ production नहीं दे सकता है. Less fertile. तो कैसे soil erosion को prevent कैसे करेंगे? By planting trees. बता सकते हो how planting trees would help?
क्योंकि अगर फ्लड्स आएंगे तो trees
हाँ, तो planting trees कैसे होगा? हाँ, floods में excessive irrigation, तो roots होते हैं plants के. Plants always, the roots always hold the soil. Second is afforestation. I told you. Second is boundaries. जो भी एक plot of land है, fertile land है, उसके boundaries हमेशा देना चाहिए. Boundaries देंगे तो it will not get washed away, no? Directly wash off नहीं होगा. And what else? Stop crop or strip cropping. Now, when I talk about strip cropping, did you ever come across that? Especially if I talk about tea gardens and all, उसमें एक strip cropping होता है. एक थोड़ा सा land हुआ, then थोड़ा सा gap, फिर छोटा सा plot of land.
Because of the water जिसको
मतलब by chance अगर excessive irrigation और floods और heavy rainfall हुआ भी, तो पूरा धुल के नहीं जाएगा. तो एक plot of land है, फिर छोटा सा strip है. हाँ, तो that is what is done. ये सारे जो steps है, you have to read nicely in your book. Next, when we meet, we'll complete with the biogeochemical cycle. Just 3 more cycles are there: nitrogen, carbon, and oxygen cycle. Okay, so water cycle already we discussed today. So apart from this, just 3 more cycles to discuss. सॉरी तुम किसको बोल रहे हो? हाँ मुझे बोल रहे हो ना? So you should address. Sorry ma'am, I will not repeat it again. Learn little bit of manners. Rhyme वैसे ही बर्बाद है.
बात तो सेम.
So later it is going to be very difficult in your life.
क्या सर
ये कपड़े पहन के वाले.
हाँ ये कपड़े
मेरी इसकी वजह से हुआ.
हाँ एक्चुअली इस वजह से
बस कर
तेरी वजह से हुआ. तेरी वजह.
तेरी वजह से हुआ है, वो खाने में नहीं फंसा है।
अरे इसने बोला ये नहीं बोलता तो नहीं होता.
नीरज ने बोला
बात करने किससे बोला बात करने किससे
साक्षात जी कर रहा पागल है क्या?
ट्रैवलिंग वीडियो में
मेरे तेरी एमबीबीएस की मत कर मत देखो खेलने नहीं आना
अरे खोले तो साले
खेलने नहीं आना
तू नहीं आ रहा.
यार ठीक है चेंज कर देना तब तक मेरे दो ही क्वेश्चन बचे हैं
चेंज क्या करना है?
ये चेंज कर कपड़े बनाने
खाली उसने लग रहेगा.
तेरी बात
मम्मी को मजा है.